On today's episode of Decorate with Me, I am going to walk you through 15 mistakes to avoid when decorating your cakes in buttercream. Hello adventurous bakers, welcome to my recipe channel. My name is Susan and this is a place where I share all recipes on cakes, small chops, pastries or snacks, confectionaries, how to make cake designs and loads of other baking tutorials. So if this is something you are interested in, please stay subscribed and let's get started. 15 mistakes to avoid when decorating buttercream cakes. 1. Leaving your uniced cake uncovered. If you are in countries like Nigeria where we have hot weather condition, if you leave your uniced cakes uncovered, you're going to end up with cakes that are too dry, irrespective of how they came out of your oven after baking. So this is the reason why you do not leave your uniced cake uncovered before decorating. 2. Over mixing your buttercream. I know you want to blend in the colors, the flavors, and you want it to be fluffy, but when you over mix your buttercream, you're going to end up with too much hair in your buttercream, and then to be difficult for you to spread. 3. Using cold margarine or butter. If you are in Nigeria here, where we have very hot weather condition, or if you're in a country where your weather condition is usually hot, you want to avoid using cold margarine or using cold butter, because you're going to end up with a buttercream texture that is going to melt. 4. Not saving your icing sugar or your powdered sugar or your icing sugar, you're going to end up having lumps in your buttercream. Your buttercream spread is not going to look very smooth. 5. Adding too much liquid at a time. You are supposed to add liquid in terms of your milk or water or any other flavorings you want to add into your buttercream. You are supposed to add them little by little till you get a desired consistency. We have different buttercream consistency when it comes to decorating. We have the thin consistency, we have the medium consistency, and we have the thick consistency. Depending on what you want to create at the end of the day, make sure that you add your liquid little by little. Then 6. Frosting a warm cake. I know sometimes we may have some orders that require us to work quickly to meet the delivery time, but so I advise that you should never frost or decorate a warm cake. Let your cake cool completely before decorating. If you decorate a warm cake, number 1, you're going to end up with cake that will get spoiled at the end of the day. Secondly, you're going to end up with a buttercream that is going to start melting because of the heat. 7. Not measuring your items. Don't eyeball or do guesswork. I know most of our icing sugar says 1 kg, 500 grams, but it's advisable for you to measure all your items to get accurate measurement, so that you don't say, oh, I followed the recipe said you use 500 grams of icing sugar to 150 gram of butter or margarine. I followed it, but it didn't come out well. Most times it's because we did not measure our ingredients well. So not measuring your items is a mistake you should avoid. 8. Not flavoring your buttercream. If you do not flavor your buttercream, you're going to end up with a bland buttercream. Yes, it's still going to be sweet, but you're not going to have a distinct flavor. So always remember to flavor your buttercream. 9. Not allowing your cake to crust after decorating, after crumb coating rather. A well crusted cake will give you a fine base to work on when you're doing your final covering. It helps you seal up your crumbs and makes your work easy. So if you do not crumb coat your cake and if you don't allow it to crust well before decorating, you're going to have issues having a final flawless covering. 10. Not crumb coating. I know sometimes too we want to rush through some orders, or some cakes like some bento cakes are very small and you're like, oh, there's no need for me to crumb coat, and you just want to go ahead to cover. Please avoid that, because you're going to have your crumbs messing up with your cake designs. So if you're still watching to this point, I implore you to please subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on all the tips and tutorials and no fail recipes I share every week. Now, if you want to see the detailed video or step-by-step video on how I baked and how I decorated this cake, then kindly stay subscribed to my vlog channel, Sussy's Vlog, where I share all things commercial recipes on cakes, on small chops, behind the scenes, and lots more. It is a fun channel of this particular recipe channel. Now, back to our 15 mistakes you should avoid when decorating buttercream cake. 11. Improper stacking, layering, or assembling of your cakes. If you do not stack your cake well or layer them well, you're going to end up with cakes that are looking off, not well leveled. They won't be seated well on your cake board. You're going to be having funny shapes. Sometimes the layers will slip slightly from each other. So you want to trim your cake well, you want to layer them well, and you want to assemble them well. Now if you use some fillings like jam or like custard, like your filling, you want to support those fillings with an outer piping of buttercream to keep those fillings inside, because this tends to make your cake slide. 12. Rushing your decoration. You want to meet up with delivery and you want to hurry up through your decoration. Please do not rush your decoration. Take your time, because you want to have a flawless work. You want your customers to keep coming back to order from you. And it is the eyes that sees first before the mouth eats. So you want to make sure you do not rush your decoration. 13. Not scraping the side of your bowl when mixing your buttercream. When you are mixing your buttercream, always make sure you use a spatula, either a silicone spatula or a wooden spatula, to scrape the sides of your bowl. This way, you're going to have all your items properly mixed together and you will not have issues with anything. 14. Frosting with a thick layer of buttercream. If you frost your cake, that is decorate your cake with a thick layer of buttercream, you're going to find it very difficult to spread. So the perfect consistency for covering your buttercream cake is a medium consistency. We use a thin consistency to crumb coat. We use a medium consistency to cover, and we use a thick consistency to create some effect on buttercream cake. So when you are covering your buttercream cake, work with a medium consistency. Now 15. This particular one is something that most professional Nigerian buttercream cake decorators are aware of. Don't be tempted, or should I call it, freezing your buttercream cake at intervals. Freezing your buttercream cakes at intervals. You must have watched videos on YouTube where most of our white brothers and sisters in the baking and decorating industry freeze their cake after crumb coating. They bring it out again, they freeze before a design, like in between decorations. Please, if you are in a hot country like Nigeria, do not be tempted to start doing that process of freezing. If you've watched most of my decorating videos, you will see I use a mixture of cake crumbs and buttercream. I mix it together to do crumb coating. This way, your cake crust faster, that is, firm up faster. So do not do the mistake of freezing your cakes before you crumb coat, or freezing your cakes after you've crumb coated, or freezing your cake after you finish decorating. Because by the time you go for delivery, your cake is going to start melting, your buttercream rather will start melting on that heat. Do not freeze your cake in between intervals. Your cake is going to crust fine if you use my method of crumb coating to cover your cakes. These are the 15 mistakes to avoid when decorating your cakes in buttercream. Now, if you are a beginner baker and you want a detailed guide with cakes in buttercream, I have an online buttercream class on Telegram that is running 24/7, and it is very, very affordable. You can join that class and get tips, tutorial, no-fail recipes, hacks, guide, lifetime mentorship that will aid you in your buttercream journey. It is also a class that accepts intermediate bakers. So whether you're a beginner or an intermediate baker, that class is suitable for you. So that is all for me for today. Thank you so much for watching. And please stay subscribed to my channel where I share all things recipes, no fail recipes. And if you want to see the details of how I made this cake, baked, decorated this cake, please subscribe to my vlog channel. I'll leave the link on my vlog channel in this video. Thank you so much for your support. See you in a subsequent video. Bye for now.